Hi, I'm Freddie
And I'm Chantel,
from His
hers,
Marriage.
marriage.
Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, we're excited. I'm
Yes.
talking about excited. We're excited about a new segment that we're adding to our video log, and it's about what?
Yes. Well, this video is targeted towards those that are single, dating, and engaged because we often, talk to primarily married couples, but we also wanted to have something for everyone across the board because while you're single and you're dating, and it could potentially, your engagement could potentially lead to marriage. So all of it really ties in together. And so that's why we want to address tonight's topics for those that are single, dating, as well as engaged.
Yes. And so we have so many inquiries about videos for the dating and the ones scheduled for marriage.
Right.
And so, like, okay, one of you guys, you're going to send anything? I'm like, yes, we do have something for you. And we was just going through the phase with the married couples. However, we will do it simultaneously throughout our segments.
Yes, yes. So we're going to jump into it. The first topic we're going to talk about, which we've talked about years ago, but we're going to, revisit it. And we have a portion that we talk about in our book where we said get acquainted first before dating, and don't rush too fast into dating initially. And a lot of people say, well, what you mean get acquainted? And we encourage people to have get acquainted meetings, whether it be one or two meetings where you meet at a coffee house in a public place. We definitely encourage that. Like you can meet in a public park and just get acquainted, just to see if there's even a connection or to see whether or not if it is even worthy of going to the next level of dating. Because a lot of times when you're dating, you're so caught up in the whole dating process. I'm getting dressed, I'm going out to this nice place or something like that, and that will come. But you want to first of all get acquainted first to see whether or not if you should even pursue dating that individual.
Yes, and then getting acquainted is valuable to any relationship. You want to get to know that person of what you perceive of them in a normal setting.
Right.
So we talk about a baseline. Learn to identify that personality on every single basis.
Right.
So when you get an acquainted, you can say, okay, I see some good, I see some bad. Okay, but his normal or her normal pattern of behavior is something I like and I would like to learn more about it.
Right.
So as you get acquainted, you begin to see that true core of the individual rather than a facade. We call it the mask.
Right.
Most
Right.
often couples put on a mask when they're in an initial dating aspect and not get to see the true person through that of getting acquainted.
Right. And I want to piggyback a little bit off of what Freddie said, putting on the mask, because we're trying to impress that person and we want them to see all the quote good side of who we are and not really see, and of course, you have to, be careful of what you unveil with time with that person. But at the same time, in the dating process, you do want to kind of uncover who that person really is to see if you want to pursue it in, going forward, maybe to potentially marry or, marry that person. So the next thing we want to talk about is establish a strong friendship from the very beginning, which could transfer into a potential long-term relationship such as marriage.
And being a friend, someone's friend, is very vital in a relationship because no matter what hard times you may have, the ups and downs, when you have a friend,
Right.
that's more important than anything else because that person will sit there and laugh with you when you never had anything else, a penny or a dollar. They still want to be there for you. Right. So that's the type of relationship that you want to establish with that individual as being one of your best friends in the beginning stages. Right. Before you even talk about, I love this person. I really like that person.
Right.
I really, really like being around that person. And in a friendship, sometimes it's good to bring your friends with you on some of your initial dates so that they get to see something that you may not see.
Right.
So it's very important to get to become friends rather than become lovers as you go forward within the relationship.
Right, and that's something that Freddie and I, we definitely established from day one,
Mhm.
is a strong friendship, and I think we really believe that that is what has kept us,
Yes.
so close over the years, because like Freddie said, it's not just loving that person, but
Liking them.
and like spending time with that
Mhm,
person
mhm.
and doing things with that person. And so, we do have our, individual friends. I have my girlfriends, he has his guy friends, and that, and that's fine. But we both know that the baseline is that we're best friends,
right.
and that, we turn to each other during those difficult times, and know that we're going to be there for one another.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So
And
next,
so the next topic is just like you may look for someone who's marriage material, make sure that you are marriage material.
and one of the very important is that so often we point fingers at the other person and says, "Yep, you can't have this on your record. You can't have that. You can't do all of that." But fail to look back at how much baggage that you're bringing to the relationship.
Right.
So when you really do a self evaluation, you get to see, wow, I'm not what I think I want that person to be. So let me clear up and do a self evaluation, clean up what I need to get cleaned up, and then reached out to see if that person is willing to do the same. That's very important. That's very important to make sure that you are marriage material for each other,
Right.
not vice versa.
And like Freddie said, everybody has baggage.
Yes.
I mean, baggage from our past. We may have some things that we know we have to deal with within ourselves. So, nobody is perfect, and so not to even try to put on that I would say that unrealistic of who you are. And because like I said, when Freddie and I first got together, we was very transparent with one another. And I was like, I know you're not perfect, I'm not perfect. So you know what? I need to find out, what some areas in your life to see if this is something I even want to go forward in. And he did the same thing. And so, so that is a process of definitely making sure that each person is potentially marriage material, in that case. And so, and the last thing we want to talk about briefly is make sure you both are going in the same direction and on one accord.
That is very vital to each couple. We couples that we had the opportunity to counsel with, and we asked them, what is their relationship with Christ? As a believer, the Bible talks about being unequally yoked.
Right.
And so we may have a person that may be in a different phase in their lives, and they said, but I want to be in a relationship. That's going to cause friction and it's going to cause problems, because most often when you look at a person that says, are we going in the same direction?
Right.
What is our end goal? And Chantel's going to talk about the end goal when we talk about in the same direction. What are we thinking about?
Well, just say for instance, if you're at a place in your life and you're like, you know what, I'm looking for someone to potentially marry. And then that other person is like, well, I'm looking for someone just to hang it with and, maybe live together. And they're not even thinking about marriage. You really have to evaluate whether or not, is it worth your time, your energy, or your emotions to really pursue that. So you want a baseline of knowing that you both are on one accord, that you both are dating one another with the intent to marry, and and making sure that you are on one accord as it relates to that. So, that will save you a lot of heartache, I would say, in the end.
Well, we're signing off from this segment from his
Hers,
marriage. Continue to thumbs up,
click like,
like, and share.
Yes.
Well, be blessed, and we're looking forward for our next future segments. Thank you.
Thank you.